Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it? I'm making this video at night. Actually, it is the last evening of July 31st. I'm home from a show that I just played with RAF, the punk rock band I'm in, hardcore punk, metal, whatever you want to call it. We opened for the legendary Detroit band Negative Approach. What a show. John Brannon, the singer of the band, he was also in the band The Laughing Hyenas, hasn't lost any of his edge. His voice is amazing. Pardon my voice. I was getting a little crazy at the show, yelling and stuff. But I've been waiting for something to arrive to make a video, and it finally did. I was talking about this earlier in the year, about this project that I'm a part of that was supposed to be out in March, led up by the visual artist Gonzalo Fuentes. I believe he's from Argentina. This thing called Frets of Yore has finally come out. A collection of guitar art pieces for the immediate past. This has really been quite an undertaking. What it is that it was all the music on this album was inspired by a number of graphic works contributed by 26 visual artists. Each contribution was subjected to 2 different musical interpretations, or lectures if you like, by 2 different musicians, most of them guitar players. I was extremely pleased to be asked to be a part of this, along with several of my favorite guitar players and musicians who I've been admiring, collecting for years. Like, for example, besides myself on this CD, I will play my track. There's a track by Fred Frith, the man behind the band Henry Cow, who I've been loving since the 70s. You know, Fred Frith is quite the innovative or innovative guitarist. So to be on the same release as him is like a bucket list item for me. It means a lot to me. Henry Kaiser is another great guitarist who I've been collecting for years. He's on the album. He's more Henry Cow. Who else is on the album? People from the VC, well, people that you know from the VC who are also well-known avant-garde artists. Ron Anderson is on here. Carla Diratz, I was talking about her. Dave Newhouse of the Muffins. Brett Harold Hart. These folks are friends now. We haven't met, but they feel like friends. We talk. We interact quite a bit. But it's just quite the list. Billy Swan, who's in the Muffins, is on here. Miroslav Wanek from Uzme Doma. Nick Prohl is on here. It's just, it's amazing. Carl Blake from Lemon Kittens. Each person, as it said, we were asked to choose from these artworks, and the one that I chose is this one here by Ayako Kanda from Japan. Some of these visual artists, you guys know their work as well. I mean, obviously Brett Harold Hart, Dan Stearns. Do you guys know that name? I'm thinking you ought to. Isn't Matt Howarth? Matt Howarth is on here. You know that name. And Neil Achot, Danielle Dax, Jad Fair, Any Anxiety, Ria Lenertz, Cal Schenkel, who's did a bunch of artwork for Frank Zappa. All these people involved in this project. Once again, I just have to say again, I'm going to play some of it, but it was an extreme surprise to me and an absolute honor when Gonzalo approached me and asked if I would participate in this project. You know, when I saw who else was involved, I was thinking, wow, me? It's such an honor. I do not have access. Okay, so it's just starting. This is Andy Shankara Bol, who starts off the disc. He is involved in the current version of Gong. Excuse me. very interesting and varied piece of work here. As I was about to say, I was really knocked out when Gonzalo asked me to participate, you know, and it's just very validating, as well as just being something I've always wanted, to be associated directly with such artists. Amy Denya was on here. It's just amazing. Everyone on here is fantastic. Let me go forward and let you hear just a little bit of my piece, okay? Mark Higgins is on here, just name after name. This is me. Such a kick to be on this. And it's all the pieces are between 1 minute and 2 minutes long, kind of similar to Morgan Fisher's Miniatures album, which I don't have anymore, but some of you might know it. And I was very much inspired by the painting by Ayako Kanda that music came from. It was like listening to her picture, and that's what I heard. I have to let you know that this is not available through me. I'm not selling this. This is on the Spectropole Records label. I'll leave the link, but this is almost... There was a limited edition 2 CD-R version of this with artwork, individual artwork for each one of those. Those are all gone. This is close to selling out already, so I'll leave the link if you want to get this. I don't know if it's possible because I know that Gonzalo mostly financed this out of his own pocket. I'd love to see a vinyl release of this. It's just fantastic. More on the personal front here, and do I have it? Yeah, okay. So, as you know, I'm in several bands. Last year I showed this. One of the bands I'm in Omaha is an old band called Skuddur, and the band released its first full-length album last year on CD called Tough as Nails. I think we made a couple hundred of these. To my surprise, to be honest with you, it sold out, and the band went ahead and did a repress. But when I found out that we were going to repress it, I said, please let us not redo the cover like that. Let's clean it up a little bit. So this is the first edition of it, which I thought just looked kind of okay. I said, let's go to a complete black background. That looks much better. Much better. Complete background, black background. See the difference? Much better. Better picture on the back too. This is the picture on this one. I'm not selling this one as well. I'll leave a link for it, but this is rock and roll. All original, but Jeff Morris, the leader of the band, big Rolling Stones lover, and so there's that influence in the music. The other thing I want to tell you about, although this deserves a whole nother video, but I'll speak about it now. Leonid Adler, I think that's, his name is not here listed in the credits for Blameful Isles, but he sent me a copy of their new album. He sent me their first album, was it last year? This is Blameful Isles, This Heart of Our Heart. Leonid and his partners in this, Daniel Israelson is a name I recognize from the internet. This is really, really pretty wonderful. As you can see from the cover, there is a spiritual slant to this. It starts with some kind of chanting stuff, you know, Hindu-like, but then it gets into some wonderful free jazz type of things, then just some pure soundscape stuff. I have already played this several times. I just got it a couple days ago. But Blameful Isles is something special. There's something personal about this. It just feels personal. I'm not sure if you understand what I mean by that. It just feels like a direct message from the musicians. I'll share this also. After the first Blameful Isles album came out, I had contact with Leonid and the band members, and he talked about having me collaborate on this one. It didn't happen. Frankly, after listening to this, I don't know how I could have collaborated, because this sounds very organic. It sounds very much like it happened as a result of the people being together, making the music work. I'd be honored to work with these guys, but I think that them completing this on their own as a unit together, sharing energy, was the right thing to do. I highly recommend this. Again, it has aspects of free jazz, spiritual music, chant. It's even slightly ritualistic, which I like. I like things that just feel like they have to be done. I could make another video about that. Maybe I'll speak about it again, but I just got it and I already love it. I already love it quite a bit. I'll try to remember to send a link, to leave a link for that. You know, there's a lot going on right now here in Omaha in my life. And I'm just going to try to share some of it with you. Some of you folks who follow art or Disney may be aware of the fact that Floyd Norman, the first black animator to work for Disney, turned 82 this year and had a documentary made about him. It's been showing all over the country. Floyd Norman in animated life. He's my brother-in-law, married to my sister. They'll be here in a couple of days. We're going to be having a screening of the film here in Omaha with a question and answer and some other activities. I'll try to share some of that with you here on the channel. See if I can get Floyd to make an appearance. Okay? But I'm just leaving it by saying I'm just really happy to be on this. Really, really. I hope you can get a copy of this too. I do recommend it. The whole thing is really wonderful.